Hello, welcome back to Bebop Review. Today I'm reviewing this video by Chad LB. It's called From Bach to Bebop, The Genius of Charlie Parker. This is about this guy's actually talked quite a bit about bebop things like enclosures and stuff, but this is the first video I've seen where it's actually it's actually saying Charlie Parker, you know what I mean, as though this is how to play like Charlie Parker. He's trying to show the relationship between Bach and Charlie Parker. I mean, Rick Beato did the same, and I weren't happy about that. I'm not so happy about this either. Most bebop elaboration, that is the chromatic elaboration, comes from the Romantic era, not the Baroque era. Bach is a Baroque era composer, and even though those lines may have gone on through history, the bebop has really got their chromatism from the Romantic era, because Romantic era music's got a lot of elaboration. It's been done this in studies. I mean, if you go to Bebop Review Facebook page, there's actually studies down there that actually tell you about this. So a lot of the elaboration comes from the Romantic era, but they're not played in the same way as they were played in the Romantic era, because of this, like I've said in the Greatest Riff, my video on the Greatest Riff. They don't not play the same because jazz music swings and concert music doesn't. Okay, so first of all, he starts off, he shows you this back cello suite, and first thing I noticed was when he started playing, just have a listen. I mean, any of you who's actually done any music study? If you don't play tenor sax or saxophone, you probably not know, but I know that first note he's hitting is E. He's actually pitching E, bottom E. So that's concert D. Now that note there, this is C clef. So that means that line there is middle C, right? And he's hitting that there, which is D. That's concert D, which to him is an E. But he's playing it. He's not playing it there. He's playing it down here. If you draw another Liga line here and put that note there, that's where he's playing, because I know what the pitching is for tenor sax because I've done some arranging, right? And he's playing it an octave lower. Now, he's actually written it, so it's a little bit confusing that he's written it like that and then he's playing an octave lower. Now, I've got no problem. He probably thinks it sounds better. But, you know, why do that? Why actually write it out like that and then play an octave lower? Just daft. Another thing about this is, I don't know if it's me or him, I was listening to it and I'm thinking, he's speeding up. You listen how he plays. If you count this, I mean, he's doing it very slow. So what I'd do is I'd count these as quarter notes. These are quarter notes, and then this would be what's after a quarter note in American? Half note. So then this quarter note you count as a half note, right? And then these would be eighth notes. I'm trying to convert from British here. Right, so this would be like 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, and 2, and 1. But if you do that, he's speeding up. Listen. 1, 2, 3. Nice slowing there. See how fast he's going now? I don't understand why his timing is all over the place. That phrase there he played quite slow, and that he played really fast. Go back and have a listen if you don't. Just rewind this video a bit. So I don't know why he's doing that, because it's not saying play slower. So I just don't understand that. So I thought I'd just mention that, mainly because one of his fans came on my channel and started accusing me of, which I admitted, that I actually went out of time when I played something. But it really gave me hammer, and I'm telling you, he's doing the same. I mean, he starts off playing slow, then speeds up, you know what I mean? So let's just carry on and see what he's talking about. So he says, how to turn Bach to bebop. So he's deliberately saying that this is what it's all about, turning the music of Sebastian Bach to Charlie Parker, you know. He shows you a picture of Bach, look, melodic shapes, voice. Notice that bit there, voice leading. Right, I want you to remember that more than anything else. Melodic shapes and voice leading. And then he shows you Charlie Parker, which is chromaticism, which is added to all these things rhythmically. and embellishment. The thing is, Charlie Parker's voice leading is equal, if not superior, to that of Bach on melodic lines. His melodic lines have got fantastic voice leading lines in. Chromatism is basically from Romantic era, not from Bach. But what he's saying is add this to the melodic shapes of Bach. Well, I don't actually see that. I think Charlie Parker's lines actually all came from Romantic era. He was more into modern composers than Bach. He did listen to Bach and Beethoven and Mozart and all that, but he really liked the people he really liked were people like Stravinsky and Bartok and things like that. You know what I mean? He says build a line around a chromatic approach notes or an enclosure, right? And then he shows you this book, Melodic Chromatism, which he said took years to write out. He got help from somebody. I think this is for sale. You can buy it really. And then he shows you this line, a diatonic line that he's actually elaborated with chromatic approach note, this D flat gonna C. Now, looking at that, you who watch my videos, what is wrong with that line? Have you had a look? You should see it straight away. Well, the main thing I saw straight away is this chord is C major 7, and he's playing a C straight on beat against C major 7 chord. Now, what's happening is that's creating a minor ninth dissonance with the B, which is the 7th. Let me just show you. Okay, if you look at this, look, I've just wrote out what he's done, but I've actually just put this C major 7th chord here. I'm only playing it for. I've slowed it right down so you can hear it. But if you listen, you can hear the minor ninth dissonance between that B and that C. Listen. Okay, so what I've done is I've just taken out the bottom 3 notes so you can hear. This is the major 7 against that C. Now listen to how dissonant it sounds, that. I mean, that is really dissonant. I don't understand why he's doing that. Rick Beato did it as well. Rick Beato wrote a line out on a bebop line, and he put a C straight on beat against the major 7. I just don't understand it. If you've got something like that, a line like that, the best thing to do is to drop this down and make it a C major 6. I'll just drop that one note down. You've still got this interval of basically an octave and a minor third, but it doesn't sound nowhere near as bad as that horrible minor ninth interval. I'll just listen to it as a C6 chord. See, it sounds a lot better, doesn't it, than that major 7th chord. Change it to a 6. So I'd certainly do something like that, you know what I mean? So just going back to this again, he's saying play diatonic here. See, that's not really a beboppy line, that putting E there and then dropping like that with one chromatic. It would normally be 3 chromatic lines which he doesn't actually like, but that would be called M4D. Right, from Thomas Owen's catalogue of motives, which you can find on the Bebop Review Facebook page, free if you want to download it onto your computer. So he's saying play diatonic, but the thing is that's off the beat, so you can play it chromatically. And you know it's one of the main Charlie Parker lines to play chromatically 3 notes down, not like that. I'm not saying don't play like that. I'm just saying he's saying don't play chromatically. I'm saying there's nothing wrong with playing chromatically down there. You know, it's how the line is going. You know what I mean? Just carry on. He goes on, he's take this line, we've got C major chord. I'm assuming that this is all C major here. Look, he's using C's. Got an F there. It's a bit out, isn't it? E, G, B, D. I think this is all supposed to be C major. Again, I would keep away from that C if it is. That F, which creates 11th, which is a bit of a distance as well on C C major chord. I don't like that. That'd be better F sharp on a C major chord. And this is, but the thing about this is, he's just showed you Bach about voice leading, and voice leading on this line is not very good at all. I mean, look at that. It's gone C. We need to get to B, and there's no B's. It'd be better if that were moving in on its sense. So it goes C, A, F, G. Then just play a scale line from B. B, A, G, F, something like that. Bring it all down so you get your lines both ways. But I don't think that's a very good line, that. I mean, it's bebop line, but it's certainly not what Charlie Parker would want to do, something like that. Let's carry on. So he starts off straight away with these exercises. I think first thing to say about this exercise, apart from the fact that I still don't like these C major 7 chords, is that he's doing an exercise which is going up. I'm not saying don't do that, but bebop lines don't go up, they go down. They descend, they're more like this. See how this one's descending? That's what you should be concentrating on more than anything else if you're really into bebop, not lines that are going up. Although I'm not saying it's not a good exercise to do that. But if you look at these lines he's doing here, you've got, it starts off at C, voices are going C, D, and then that E, F, G, A, B, and then to C. But he's doing a lot of repeated notes. You got that D's repeated there. Do you know what I mean? Which is not so good. That E's being repeated. The E there is being repeated there. That F is being repeated there. It's gone off different here, I think. So that's slightly different. That's all right. G, that's going up to B. And then this is all dropping to, again, a C major on the C major 7 chord, which is bad, I think. So I tell you the truth, I don't think that's a very good bebop line, that. There's too many repeated notes. Too many of these Fs. When you're doing things like that, I know it's strengthening the voice leading, but I don't know. It's just it's gonna sound a bit smoothish. Does he play it? Let's have a listen. Right, that does not sound like bebop at all. Nowhere near bebop. It just sounds like a smooth run. It's more like, I don't know, it's just an exercise, really. Same with that. It's just doesn't sound like bebop to me. You've got this C and then B's, A's. I don't know. It's just, I don't know what's the matter with it. I think these lines are a bit weak. That's supposed to be an enclosure going around there. That'd be better higher and driving into that. Do you know what I mean? You're much better off driving into things. See, he's got a B repeated there. Let's have a look. C, and then we go up to C again. It makes it weaker, I think, lines like that. You know what I mean? You don't want to be saying, oh, we're at G, or we're at F. We've just moved to F, and then we're to F again. You know what I mean? It needs, I don't know, you need to be... It's because I think it's because that line's running up. Here he's repeating it there, which I just don't understand at all. But there, the line's running up and it just sounds weakish. They always sound better, bebop lines running down. Let's have a look. Probably not explaining this as good as I could, but to me it just doesn't... You know, he's improvising, right, but it's still too smooth. See what else he does. Now this looks like a bebop line. Short chromatic 2-5-1 phrase. That looks more Charlie Parkerish. That. He got a chromatic road running down, but we're in correct chords here. He's put this C major 7 again, but we're not playing the C. We're playing G, and then we're up to F. So we've got pretty decent voice leading. G. We're at G. We seem to be at G there, but we are emphasising the D there, so it's running down to D and then running back up again. The voice leading is going D, F, E, so we are actually running down. Then these, it does look like a bebop line. That it's not a brilliant bebop line, but it does look like a bebop line. I would say that he's actually took that off a bebop player. Let's have a listen to what it sounds like.
Examples of approach notes, chromatic approach notes, I should say, and enclosures to a triplet or a 16th note. So let's just check out the short one to start.
Plays it a bit fast, doesn't it? You can't quite hear it, but I suppose it does sound like bebop, that. Let's have a look what else he's got. No, that's it. That's it. I'll tell you what, we'll have a look at some Charlie Parker, see the difference. I think I would just accept that as a bebop line, but I don't like his other stuff at all. Right, this is a Charlie Parker line. This comes from Chi Chi. It's not in the Charlie Parker Company book. It's on take 6 of Chi Chi. The one in the Charlie Parker Company book is take 1. And it's chorus 7, the beginning of chorus 7, so beginning of chorus. It's a 12-bar blues. I want to show you this because it's basic, like it's very similar to what he did. He wrote it all over C, didn't he? Them lines, them exercises, and this is kind of like this is about closest thing to an exercise. But if you actually look at Charlie Parker's playing, it's a hell of a lot more interesting. He's got this this line here, look, from C. This is kind of. It looks at first glance, this looks like a voice leading line. You're going C to B to A flat to G flat to F. But it's not, the line's not actually going there. He's actually using these, what he's doing is just accenting these off. The actual line is going from this A flat to G to that F to that E flat. And these are like acting like changing tones. E flat to D, and that's going to D flat. And it's still going on, look, C to B to A to G flat to F to E. A version of M1 is kind of like taking up to that F. Then it's running down to B there. And then this is just jumping up to this flat 5 and this B flat 7. So this is basically B flat 7 with sharp 11. So that's quite nice. We haven't got no clashes. And then we're jumping down again. M1's taking you up. And then this is kind of just taking you around to finish off on these ACs. But if you listen to the way Charlie does it, Charlie Parker plays it, the voice leading line is going like, right, this is absolutely dead straight. It's absolutely perfect. But the accents are making it sound interesting, almost like giving you these accents on these first 2 bars are making it sound different. And it's just, basically, it's just the genius of Charlie Parker, really. See, that sounds like bebop to me. It's not got that smooth, horrible smooth stuff to it. You've got these accents and we're jumping about, making it really interesting. It doesn't sound pedestrian. It's got life to it. Do you know what I mean? So, basically, that's it. That's all I want to say about that. There's not much more I can say. I hope you've learned a little bit about that. Okay, bye.